Ghana consumes approximately 450,000 metric tons of palm oil annually, primarily used in household and industry products such as vegetable cooking oil. However, local production amounts for only 300,000 metric tons, leaving a deficit of 150,000 metric tons that is met through import. Recognizing this gap, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, has identified oil palm as one of the 6 selected tree crops under TCD as a game changer in reviving Ghana's agro-industry sector.
One basic thing that I have to put on record, which some of them even alluded to, the Tree Crop Development Authority is a nascent institution. What I mean is it's just a very young institution, but it has everything that needs to ensure the industry thrives. So IA, it has the law, the act that set it up, it has the LI that operationalizes it, it has a strategic plan, and currently has the right leadership under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to operate. So the challenges are not unsurmountable. So what we just need to do, that one person or TCD alone cannot do it. So in the Act is mention of the value chain committees. In the Act is talk about all other relevant institutions. There are other agencies that needs to work. And what is so important about this policy dialogue is the work, as you rightly saw, the work that was done by the Taylor Crabb. You could see the various institutions that should work and collaborate to get together. So that is one. So what TCDA is doing is what you have seen. Now, number one, to bring all relevant, because you mentioned in the Act that TCDA and other relevant agencies. So that should tell you that TCDA comes and other relevant agencies. And largely, we have brought all relevant agencies per the institutional arrangement here, so that we all understand what our rules are. And as the legal framework was putting it, some we have to have a collaboration and working with them. Some we have to have an MOU working. Some we have to have a working understanding. And then we develop from year 1 to 2, then between 3 to 5, and after, before, if we have to even review frameworks, legal framework, then we'll come to that. So TCDA is engaging all relevant stakeholders together for one to understand the TCDA mandate. Because, you know, when it was set up 5 years ago, and when it was launched 5 years ago, people did not know about the acts that set it up. So they need to be abreast with the act and the legislation and your role. Some were still performing certain role which the law has given to TCD. So they need to be aware and know how do we do. We are not saying leave it or that, but you have to know that now this has been ceded to this authority and we do that. So again, some value chain actors should understand that when you are hungry and you get food, we don't use both our left and the right hand to eat. We have to crawl, take your time, and pick one after the other. And that is exactly what we are doing. We are supposed to ensure that farmers, aggregators, traders, exporters, and processors thrive in the industry. All of them. So whatever your challenge is, you might think you as a farmer, you have a challenge. Processor has a challenge. Exporter has a challenge. So TCDA is in the middle to ensure that these are ironed out. And we can only do that when we use the LI, when we use the Act, and together with our relevant organization. And again, we have our mother institutions. This is the only institution that has 29 member board and has 3 ministries on board. You have Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Agriculture, Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Ministry of Finance, all sit on the board. That should tell you that. And this is an actively and a private sector led institution. So TCDA is fully engaging all the actors as we should. And I believe this is the beginning. The policy dialogue is the beginning to expose everybody to know exactly what the legal mandate is and where there's a cross-functional identities that will come together. And then there are some prescriptions which call for all of us to know our rules and work together for Mother Ghana. That's exactly, and at the end of the day, it's the industry that will thrive, and that is what we are doing. And Ghana economic fortunes will increase. That is what we are here for. Thank you. In the Act, the TCDA Act 1010, the framers put in Tree Crop Development Fund and show the sources that we can get the sources from these funds, i.e. from the levies we generate, from the IGF we generate, from government, from donor, from this and all that, put together, manage that fund and use that to support the value chain actors. And that's what we're talking about. So they really thought through, learn the Cote d'Ivoire experience, that we will incentivize processes and make sure the journey is the value addition, the industrialization. So they put it there. And as I indicated, this fund is not far-fetched. We are going to introduce, God willing, by the end of the year, we'll launch it and we'll see how best it will continue to help us. We can't say how much you are looking at it because it's fun. But we as we rightly said, even when one of the speakers was trying to say that the 50,000 hectares of oil palm that we need $400 million US. That should tell you this is one product. So we are looking at big money into the fund, but I'm sure
PSCP2, the long name is Ghana Private Sector Competitiveness Program, and it is a SECO-funded project, and we are the implementers. That is NIRAS ProForest. NIRAS International and ProForest are implementing the program on behalf of the Switzerland government. We are implementing a project on cashew and oil palm, and we are working with 3 modalities. That is the Strategic Partnership Cooperation, and also the Rapid Response Mechanism, and the DPP, that is the Development Partnership with the private sector. The Strategic Cooperation Partnership is supposed to help TCDA be on their feet so that they can serve the public using their mandate that they obtain from the government of Ghana. TCDA also reports to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, who is responsible for policy, and therefore we would want TCDA to work well. And we notice that there are some conflicts in their roles as far as some mandates are concerned, and we have we engage Taylor Craft for the study to do policy and institutional mapping, and this has brought us this far. So through their findings, today we are gathered here bringing all stakeholders that are supposed to inform decision making and implement together so that we will be able to bring everybody on board, and so for us to be able to achieve what you are supposed to achieve. And so TCDA is here, and then the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, who is responsible for policy, is also here, and that is why the minister was invited to give the keynote address and to support us to roll the policies as and when they are supposed to be.